All right, Nick and Phil. So here's the couple of steps that you'll go through to set up your account. I went ahead and added myself as an athlete to just show you how this will work. Okay, so first step, what I want you to do is I want you to go to Teams. Okay, and we're going to create a team for 20 SFG. Okay, so the way to do that is in the top right hand corner, I'm going to hit Create Team. You give the team a name and you give the team an access code. The access code is really important because you're going to give that access code out to any of your operators, any of your athletes, and that's how they're going to connect with you. Okay, so I've done that for 20 SFG, and if I click on this, in fact, I'm going to go to the right hand side and click on the settings and go to access codes. What you'll find is here's the access code, 20 SFG. So anybody that downloads the app simply will type in 20 SFG, and then they're going to show up on your list of athletes. So if I click on athletes, here would be a list of every athlete, every operator that's used that access code to connect with you. So let's talk about what it means once they've connected with you, right? So to start, it means that if you go to Teams, they'll have access to every training session on this Teams calendar. So I recommend that we actually have a generic program so that everybody has access to it. So if I click on 20 SFG, what I'll notice first is the calendar is blank. Okay, so if I come here in the top right hand corner, I can add something from our library, or I can do that actually on any day, right? So let's add something from the library, and I'm going to go to programs, and we've got some ready to go programs. Okay, so we're going to use this program, Cycle 1, okay, HAP Cycle 1. It's a generic program. It'll be a really good strength conditioning program, at least just to have something by default. Okay, so I'm going to click here, and I'm going to choose a start date. I always want to start this on a Monday. Okay, so I'm going to actually start this, we're going to start it on the 30th. Okay, and I'm going to hit OK, and I'll add it to the calendar. So what we're doing now is the program is added to the calendar, so every athlete that joins the team is going to have access to this. Okay, now at the same time, if I go to athletes, I'll notice I have a list of all these athletes that are joining my team. So as we build out the coaching staff, we can actually click on an athlete's calendar, and if they need something specific, I can program for them specifically. I can see, hey, they're actually part of this particular team, so they do have a training session, but I might click here and actually edit or adjust their training session, right? Or remove them from the team altogether and give them a unique training session. So you can coach individually, but I think just based on the resources that you have today, we're really going to leverage this team calendar. Okay, now another important piece is each team has what we call a message board. So if I click on message boards, I'm going to be able to, and Justin alluded to this, but you'll be able to communicate with everybody on the team. So I'm going to click the message board, and I posted a message for everybody on the team. Okay, so fellas, welcome to Train Heroic. This is how we'll keep you combat ready at all times. Once you create your account, you'll find a schedule for training sessions per week on your calendar. So that's what they have, right? But if you'd like to add a specific program to your calendar, here's a list of programs that we've created. So we'll get this list from Justin, but basically we'll edit this message so that if they need this particular program, here's the code. If they need this particular program, here's the code, right? And then we give them instruction on how they can add that program to their calendar. And of course, if they need the coaching staff to customize their plan, here's how they can do it. So what's important is I want to actually look at what this looks like to the operator. So let's take a look. All right, so let's take a look at this now actually on the operator's phone, right, or athlete's phone. So if I were to click on the app, right, assuming that I've downloaded the app and typed in that code, what I'm going to find first is that communication. So the athlete or operator will always get notifications. And so I can actually click here and see that the new session was programmed. There's also a comment, right? So I can click on into the comment, and here's that comment. So if you guys message these athletes, these operators, they're going to be able to see that, right? So here's how we're going to keep them engaged. Here's how we're going to get their buy-in. Now if I go back and actually click into this newly programmed session, let's go to the first. Here we go. Right, here's our actual training session. And I know that you're both comfortable with what this looks like, but they can jump in here and actually log their readiness. They can look at specific movements, see the video. They can log the specifics, right? So there's quite a bit that they'll be able to do, but that's how we're going to give them access, right? So we've got this team. The team has a shared calendar. All the operators or athletes are all doing the same thing unless we start to program for them specifically. And of course, I can look at the message board. I can see the specific access code if I want to add a program, right? So I'd imagine these have titles that are a little bit more specific, or at least clear on what they're looking to accomplish, right? Like something for strength, something for power, something for endurance. So in that case, they'll be able to, and we kind of outline how to do it here, but they'll be able to actually come into their settings. They'll be able to go into their training programs, and they'll be able to add a program by adding an access code. Okay, so it'll be a really simple process. I hope this is helpful on your end, at least to see this. And so the to-dos between now and when we talk next is simply to log into your account, to create a team, to add programming to the team, and then we'll circle back and kind of talk about next steps from there. So thanks, guys.